The dusty sun hung low over the small western town of Dustwell. The townsfolk had gathered in the square for something. They called the auction. To most, it was a form of entertainment. To her, it was humiliation. The young native girl, barely 20, stood on a wooden crate, her wrists bound and her pride shattered. The auctioneer barked her description like she was a mere object, strong, young, and able-bodied. Her name was Kaya, though no one bothered to ask. She had been taken from her tribe after a raid led by bounty hunters. They saw her not as a person, but as property, a prize to be sold. "Let's start the bidding," shouted the auctioneer. $1, $1.50. Kaya clenched her fists, her heart pounding in fury. And then a calm, low voice broke through the crowd. $2. The crowd went quiet for a moment. All eyes turned toward the man who spoke. He was tall, wearing a dark brown hat and a vest that had seen better days. His beard was trimmed, his eyes sharp and unreadable. He stood apart from the others, not out of arrogance, but because he didn't seem to belong to their kind. "Sold, $2 to the cowboy." The gavel came down, and with it, Kaya's fate was sealed. As the crowd dispersed, some laughed at the low price. $2 for a savage girl, one man snorted. The cowboy ignored them. He stepped forward and untied her hands, his movements careful but firm. "You'll ride with me," he said simply. Kaya glared at him, her voice trembling with rage. "You'll regret this. I won't obey you." Her words cut through the silence like a knife. The cowboy didn't respond. He just gave her a steady look, then handed her a canteen of water. "You'll need this more than I will," he said. She took it reluctantly, her throat dry, but her pride even drier. They rode off together, the sun dipping lower behind the hills. For miles, neither spoke. Kaya watched him, her mind spinning. Was he just another cruel man trying to own her? Or something different? When they reached his small ranch, at the edge of the canyon, he dismounted and helped her off the horse. "You're free to go if you want," he said, surprising her. "But if you stay, I could use help with the horses." She hesitated. Freedom, after all, meant nothing if she didn't know where to run. She stayed silent, her eyes cautious. That night, she sat by the fire, still wearing the same torn dress, still unsure of what to believe. The cowboy sat across from her, staring into the flames. He finally spoke, his tone softer. "My name's Eli. I paid the $2 not to own you, but to stop them from hurting you." Kaya looked at him, suspicion flickering in her gaze. "Why?" she asked. "Because no one deserves to be treated like that," he said simply. It was the first time in months that she felt her anger cool, even slightly. But she still didn't trust him, not yet. As the stars lit up the night sky, she whispered to herself, "We'll see, cowboy. We'll see." Days turned into weeks on Eli's ranch. Eli never ordered her around, he asked. He never touched her, never raised his voice. That confused her the most. She had grown used to cruelty, not kindness. One morning, she woke to find Eli gone. He had ridden into town for supplies. But as the hours passed, worry crept in. "What happened?" she asked sharply. "Ran into some of the men from the auction," he said with a faint smile. "They didn't like that I took their entertainment away." Kaya helped him off the horse, guiding him to the porch. As she cleaned his wound, she felt something shift inside her. This man, this quiet, stubborn cowboy, had risked his life for her. "Why didn't you let them hurt you instead?" she murmured. He chuckled softly. "Because I don't believe in standing by when something wrong's happening." His words stayed with her for days. Slowly, the walls she had built began to crumble. She started talking more about her tribe, her lost family, her fears. Eli listened, never interrupting. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the ridge, she found herself sitting beside him, watching the sky turn gold and red. "I thought you wanted to own me," she said quietly. "I never wanted to own anyone," he replied. "I just wanted you to have a chance to live your life." Tears welled in her eyes, but she quickly wiped them away. "I told you I wouldn't obey," she said with a faint smile. "And you haven't," he replied. "You've just chosen to stay." That night, as the wind rustled through the desert grass, Kaya finally understood sometimes love didn't come with chains or promises. Sometimes it came with freedom. Months later, when the same men returned to threaten them again, it wasn't Eli who stood first, it was her. Not now, not ever. The men backed away, realizing she wasn't the frightened girl from the auction anymore. She was stronger now because someone had believed in her worth. And as the dust settled once again on that lonely western land, she turned to Eli, her voice soft but firm. "You didn't just buy me for $2. You gave me my life back." Eli smiled quietly. "Guess that was the best $2 I ever spent." Their laughter echoed through the canyon, gentle and real. She was a woman who had found her strength and her heart in the most unexpected place. And if you love stories of courage, love, and redemption from the Old West, don't forget to subscribe to Old West Story, where every tale brings history, heart, and heroism to life.